Hello guys, it's me Karthik. Hope you guys are doing really good. So by the end of this video, you should be in a position to understand the LiquiBase and you be in a position to work on the LiquiBase on your own with a little support from Google. That's the entire intention of this video. Okay, so as I'm saying, it's a LiquiBase, right? So why we are using LiquiBase? Actually, what is LiquiBase? What is the purpose of using that? Then we'll see how we can set up a Spring Boot project and how we can do little bit some examples with the help of LiquiBase. Okay, so let's go to the first part, that is why LiquiBase. Why? Okay, so let's take a real world project examples, like you are working in a project where you did some contributions and your code is going into the production. Okay, so as part of your code you will be interacting with database, right? So you will be interacting with few tables. That's very normal, right? So let's say like you are creating a new table for that release and you are creating entity as part of Spring Boot. You're using that as part of Hibernate, something like that, but you are creating that. Okay, so what you do basically in production environment, what you do is you already have that SQL been with you and you will be execute in the before the production, right? So that is a traditional process and a lot of people are actually using that. I'm not saying this as a normal thing. This is a lot of projects are depending on like that. Okay, you are updating one field in a DB, and you in your SIT environment, in your UAT environment, what you do, you simply go to your database IDE and you simply modify it here like this. Okay, like this you simply modify it, you simply click on save. But when it goes to production during the release time, what you do most of the times, you try to prepare the SQLs, right? So there are two challenges with that thing. Okay, first one is because you are keeping them in one location, you're manually executing them in the production only. Okay, there are chances like you might miss that part of SQL completely. Okay, so you'll be thinking like, oh no, I'll put it in this folder, and after a few months, because the production will be in let's say like 3-4 weeks, 1 month or 2 months, after 2 months you might forget that SQL is been there or not, so you don't even give that SQL to the production support team who are executing that SQL, right? This is the first thing. Second thing is like, let's say you have remembered it, but you have written it but you have not executed it because in your dev and UAT environment you manually updated like this, right? So there are high chances that SQL might not work. Okay, so with these sort of things, what happens, it leads to the production related issues, and that is not so good. Let's say even if you are writing that properly SQL as well, there are chances like you might forget to include that in the production. Okay, there are chances that you always include, but out of 99% of times, that out of 100, that 1% of time you might miss it, right? So, and that might lead to the production related issues because that DB that field is not configured. Okay, so instead of that, when it comes to why it is happening, because you are not keeping track of those SQLs, right? Whereas code, you are keeping track of the code changes with the help of Git, right? Git with the help of Git, you are keeping track of them because you have a Bitbucket repo or some other repo, right? But when it comes to SQL, do you have something like that? No. Because of that, you are facing this sort of issue. What happens, like from your lower environments only, what happens when you start including them as part of your Git commits, as part of your code, where it will start executing on its own, so what happens then, the chances of going to the production and getting the issues will be very less because it's being tracked from the lower environments to the higher environments. That is where LiquiBase comes into picture. LiquiBase and Flyway both are this sort of database management or the control version version control tools for your SQL. Okay, LiquiBase and Flyway. LiquiBase is a open source, and we are going to discuss about that as part of this tutorial. Okay, so I hope you guys now understood why we are using, because we want to keep track of our SQLs as well. So in a simple one statement, LiquiBase is like a Git. Simple. Okay, so how do we keep track? How does it ensure that we are executing on a track? Those sort of things that we will see when we start our project. Okay, so let me start from the scratch. So first part is, I hope you guys have understood by this time. Now how it's happening, that I will see with the example. Let's go one step at a time. Let's create a new Spring Boot project, because I want you guys to start it from scratch. I hope few people are creating the project like this, right? So I want to show in this way. Okay, LiquiBase learnings demo. Okay, group ID I'm giving, and I'm taking the Java version as 8, and I'm creating the package as well. Okay, LiquiBase demo. Okay, then I am, what are the libraries I'm going to use? This is important, guys. I need, because I am using MariaDB. In your case, you can use H2 or whatever the DB you want. I'm using MariaDB because that is been installed in my personal laptop, but anything is fine. Okay, and I'm using Spring Data JPA, and I'm using Lombok, and I'm using Spring Web. Then comes to LiquiBase, what I need to use, LiquiBase migration. This is the one we need, and we are going to work on this one. Okay, let's click on finish. Then it should start giving us the project. Now you could see this project, database LiquiBase demo. Okay, so this in the bottom, it started creating. Okay, now you could see this project is being created here. Okay, it is having one SI main class. Let's write one sysout so that we'll understand this working fine, executing fine, like that. Okay, so starting just a sysout, guys. Now let's go to the pom.xml. In pom.xml, if you see, what are the things we have the group ID, artifact ID, version, all these are fine. And if you see here, I am using Spring Starter Data JPA, and I am using web. I am using, for LiquiBase, I am using LiquiBase core library. Okay, for MariaDB, this been installed, MariaDB Java client, Lombok. If you're not using MariaDB, you might be using other clients. Okay, and that's it. So for LiquiBase related, this is a one. Okay, and other things are pretty normal. Okay, so this is Java 17. Okay, but let's try to convert into Java 8. What do you say? Yeah, so what I will do is, because in some other, most of the systems are now based on, you might not have Java 17, so let's use 1.8 version of Java. That should be sufficient. Then we need to set our DB. We need to set our user ID, passwords for DB, right? So those things is very important for us. So where do we set them? We set them in our application.properties here. Okay, so let me try to use the already existing ones I have, because I tend to forget them most of the times. So let me take it from yes, let me take it from here. Okay, cool. Yeah, so here what are we doing here? I'm keeping the server port 8. Let me keep it at 8083, up to you. And for DB, connecting with DB, I'm using data source URL, this one, and username, password for your DB, and driver which is going to load, and Hibernate delete. Okay, and coming to LiquiBase related, okay, this is the one, guys. spring.liquibase.changelog. Here we are going to give the master, okay, changelog master. Okay, so basically in this folder I want to create a changelog master, right? So if you see here LiquiBase demo, you could see this folder is already get created, db changelog. I have not created this, right? This got created because of our LiquiBase core library being used. So SpringBoot will understand that we are going to create the LiquiBase related changes. So what it does is it is creating a changelog folder where in this folder all the changes will be available. In order to track the changes, what we need to do, we need to have a one file where it will act as a master and all the child files where it will act as a changes, right? So what I need to do here, as part of application.properties, I have given my master file here, okay, like LiquiBase changelog. This is my kind of a master file, okay, where I have given changelog-master.xml, right? This file I am going to create in this path, okay. I have already mentioned the path, right? So here I am going to right click, new file, changelog master, okay. This is where we are. This is good. Now what to keep in this, okay, this you don't need to remember anything, guys. We have the LiquiBase best practices that I suggest you guys to Google it. Most of the times LiquiBase best practices, okay. So here if you go and see here, this is my changelog, okay. So I'll simply copy it and paste it, okay. Here it is saying include all from this folder, okay, but here what I can do this way, or else this is all the files under this particular folder, okay. So as of now, this is not there, right? So db changelog, this should be sufficient, okay. So from db changelog all the files will be included. This is one way, or what you can do is simply use include, okay. Here you can mention what we have something like this, right? So simply you remove this all and you keep it like this and you give the file, okay. And here you need to give that file name, okay. This should be small. So here let's say for each version of release we will have a change log, let's say at v1.xml. this file we need to create, okay. So here what I am saying is I am at my release version as v1, so I am creating this one. So let me create this particular file first. Go to this folder, changelog version. So that means what we are doing is, if you observe this change here, database changelog, this is my 1 second guys, I'm getting a call, give me a minute. So we are recording, right? Cool. So what is happening, we are creating a changelog version 1. So basically, so the thing is, for each release there will be a one version file, something like this, changelog version each release, and for each release you can do like this, okay. Version 1 v2.xml, v3.xml. so you have it version, you have it first release. So you will include only this particular file, and once this is done, what you do, you are getting into the next release, next sprint will start. Then again for that release, what you need to do, you need to create one more changelog file and include all the changes over there. Okay, all the changes into the changelog for that particular thing. So in this way, what you're doing is you're keeping track of all the SQLs. Okay, there's a one thing, and I'll add. Okay, so this is done, right? If you see what you need to include, what are the languages supported, that we'll discuss. Okay, so if you see here, this is created in XML. Okay, but if you go here, they are saying you can create this with the help of YAML, with the help of JSON, with the help of XML. So basically this particular master file is supported with the help of 3 languages up to your choice. You can use XML, you can use YAML, and you can use the JSON as well. And when you're writing the actual SQL changes, there also you can use multiple choices. Your plain SQL is also supported, XML is supported, JSON is supported. So currently, as part of this tutorial, I am going to show you with the help of XML, and YAML is also supported. Okay, so I hope you guys now understood, like there will be a application properties where we need to tell our Spring Boot where is a master file. So once I came to the master file, then I will show you what are the other files we need to include. Here in the master file will show. Okay, this is the include file. If you use includeAll, which in the beginning we have seen, right? This one, includeAll, will include all the files in this particular folder. That is also fine, but I suggest you to use this because in my real-time project they are using this. Okay, so this is a changelog version 1. Then what do we need to add here? Okay, so just go here and take something like this. So this is our changelog 1.0. okay, then you could see here this multiple languages being supported. Go to the XML because we are using XML as of now. You can use JSON as well, up to your choice. Then copy this and paste it over here. Okay, I'll tell you what is going to happen. Each and everything we'll discuss. Okay, so simple thing is, again it will going to have a database changelog tag that our master will have. In master, you're only having the include or includes. That means from master we are telling to how to travel to the child. In your child, you are telling what are the changes you need to add. Okay, so all of them. So if you see here, there's a tag called changeset. This is important. Changeset will have 2 attributes which you need to fill. First one is author, another one is ID, and this should be, this ID should be unique, guys. Let's say you have a one more changelog, something like this. Okay, there's a one more like this. Okay, so ID can be 2. This here ID should be 3. Okay, and author can be you are creating this one, so you, and as part, so you have to commit this, right? Because this is as part of your normal folders only, right? So it will come as a pull, and as a pull it will come the other changes as well if someone is modified. Okay, their author can be different. Let's say this can be Karthik, this can be someone like this. Okay, so in this way we are going to identify who has executed this SQL. So that means who has written this particular SQL. Okay, there are 2 tables will get created, guys. db changelog lock. Okay, that I will show. Okay, so each time you execute a SQL, here this is a changeset, right? So this is nothing but one SQL. Okay, this can be in XML format that is shown here. This can be JSON that is shown here, YAML, the SQL. Okay, anything is fine, but whoever creates that, it will have a author and ID, and this data will go and sit in db changelog table. Okay, db changelog table. See here, db changelog. So each time it execute, it will add a row here, like id, whatever the id that you are providing here, that will come. Author will come here, and the file name, which file name it got executed, and when it got executed, what is the checksum, what it is actually doing. So all this data will be recorded into this particular table so that it can easily available. So there is also one more table is changelog log. So basically what is happening is, like, when you are updating on the table, so in that period of time, that small period of time, the table will be logged, and that information will be shared across other executors with the help of this table, that you don't need to worry. Okay, so this table is important, and who is inserting that? We are not going to do. Our LiquiBase with the help of SpringBoot only will take care. All we need to do is we need to ensure this ID should be unique. That means it should not be duplicated. Okay, so as of now, let's do one thing. Let's remove all these things. Let's create something like this. So I have a master table, master LiquiBase changelog, and I have a, for release I have this particular one, and this is the start of my release, so I don't have any SQLs yet. So then what we need to do, that will show. Okay, so let's say like you're doing it for the first time, so these tables won't be there. So I am going to drop these tables completely as of now. Okay, and we'll see what will happen and how it gets created slowly. Okay, and also this particular table as well, because we are going to create again. Okay, so now what is happening in this particular project, we have created a changelog library. So changelog, we have added a changelog library, and we have added application.properties. The recap I am showing. Okay, and the master, from master we have created a child, but there are no SQLs yet. That's okay. We just want to ensure that our project is working fine, and it got connected to DB. Okay, so in our application properties, all the DB related configurations were mentioned, right? So let's execute our main file, and let's connect to the DB first, then we'll see. Okay, if there are any issues comes, how to handle also we need to ensure it. So ensure your DB is running, up and running. Okay, in my case it's running in the down DB server, so cool, no issues for me. So it is started, guys. In the bottom you could see, and let's go to the console. Okay, there is some sort of an exception. Okay, fine, no issue. Let me try to this is something related to Java build path, no issue. Let me try to go to the Maven update project for snapshot. It is trying to update a project here. Okay, this is resolving everything. That to complete. In your case, if it is working fine, there is no issue, guys. Let me try to run one more time and see. Now you could see our Spring project started executing, and so simple. Table, you see here, this is related to MariaDB. This is completed. Now you see table database changelog does not exist. It is showing, and database is up to date, no changes executed. Why it is showing test database changelog does not exist? Because we have manually deleted it. Now let's expand here. Now let's do a refresh, quick refresh. Now go to the test. Now you could see there's nothing is there. Okay, that is okay. That means it's nothing got created as of now. That's fine. Now let's go to the changelog 1. Okay, so here where are we, how it works also we need to see. Okay, we have created the particular project, right? Now let's try to create a table with the help of this changelog. Okay, so I have copied and I went to changelog this for this particular release. This is my version, right? So I have copied, pasted, and I kept this author as Karthik, ID as 1. Cool. Now, so this is about creating a particular table. Okay, now let's run this as a Spring Boot application. Now you see running changeset changelog 1 -1 Karthik. Okay, what is this? Let's see. Changelog 1 is nothing but my file name, 1 is my ID, and Karthik is the author name, and it is saying like this SQL got executed, right? This SQL got executed. Table person, you see here, table person created and ran successfully. It took this much of time, you know, all the information related to changelog came properly. Now let's go to the DB and see. Okay, so as of now we don't have that particular table called person because the table person got created, we don't have, and the tables related to changelog also not there. Now let's refresh this and expand. Now you see there were three tables got created. Okay, table person. Okay, this is a table person, right? So the table person got created, and if you observe there were two tables, DB database changelog log. Okay, in DB, so are we doing anything here? No. Spring Boot will create the table in the given schema. That schema being defined when you are configuring for database, right? Now go to the data. Now you see what it is showing. It is showing like this ID, this author from this particular file has executed the SQL and the table got created. Okay, so in this way what will happen in your environment if you start following this is, so from the code when it started building only you are executing all this, so there are chances that missing out on SQLs is not going to be there in your particular production environment, and the you know also you see the syntax related errors are also being reduced. That is also more important. So you know this is the advantage you are going to get. Okay, now this table is there, right? Now let me close the server and try to rerun. So what will happen? Will it going to again execute the changelog presented here and going to create a table called person? Okay, so first of all, before that, what is this doing? Let's discuss, then we will try to rerun. Okay, so here I am using a tag called create table with a table name and the column. What are the columns? Name as ID and another name as name and the type and the constraint. Okay, this is good, but are we remembering that? No. For whatever the reason, you just go to the Google and type like simple create table LiquiBase XML example. So it will come here. Simply change set liquid table name. You see this, copy this guy, go here, paste it, change set, and you try to change according to your choice. Okay, so ID 1 is already there. Let me create ID 2. Author as, let me create again Karthik, and it is creating a department table. In your case, you can be creating as per your business requirement, you must be creating something else. Okay, so department worker, department size, so all these things you are creating. Okay, this will come from, if you do something like this, it will come from your properties.xml. Why to complicate? Let's create as of now something like this. Okay, so this should create a department. If I execute, what about the first one? If I execute again, this will get created, then this will get created. What will happen? Okay, let's see that. So if I execute this, it is coming here. So now you could see only the second one is getting picked up, where ID is 2, not the first one. Why? I have two change sets here, but ID with a 2 only getting executed, not the first one with ID 1. Why? We'll see. Okay, if I refresh it, now you could see the second one with ID 2 is there, the first one is already there, and you have created a table called department, and the department table should be there somewhere here. Okay, where is the department table? Yeah, department table, you see, this is there, but why the first one is not there? Okay, that's okay. Now let me again close the server and rerun. What will happen? Whether the both will get executed, none will get executed, how it is getting tracked, how it is getting tracked is very important. Okay, so basically what is happening is, now none of them will get executed because both of them already got executed. Now you see here, no change sets execute. Why is, for every change set you have the name and ID, and that been inserted into the database changelog table, and it will see whether this got executed or not. If it is executed, then it won't execute again. Okay, now what I will do is, I'll try to delete both of them. Okay, now I try to delete. Now what will happen? Both should get execute. Okay, so that means here the create table person should get execute, department will get executed. Okay, but since we already have the table and department and the person, so we should get an SQL saying like, SQL exception saying like that table is already exist, but it should start executing both of them, right? So let's see that. Exception should come because the table is already executing, so already presented, but the change log should get executed. Now you see, person table is already exist. At first table only it is it got exception, then it came out directly, right? Cool. Now let's see here, person table is already exist, so because of that, now go to the change log and refresh. Anything is there? No, nothing, right? Now what I will do is, I'll try to delete this person table and the department table as well. This is a play around we need to do, guys, just to, for the better, we don't delete them, we don't drop them in your real-time environment, since it is my personal machine. Just to, for the demo purpose I am showing. Okay, so now in db changelog nothing is there. That means what will happen? Those two will get created, because it will go here, it will identify both of them, and it will get create both. Then we'll see. Now 2 entries should come here. Now you see 2 entries are there, and if I refresh the database here, those 2 tables should get created. Person and the department both are created, right? Now I will keep only one, and I'll see only one is getting picked up or not. Okay, so I deleted the department table. Now go to the data and delete the department related entry in the change log, and see the only department is getting picked up or not. In here in SQLs we should get 2, sorry, in the logs here 2 got picked up, right? Now if I execute again, only 1 should get picked up. Why I am keep on doing all these things is I want you guys to understand what is happening here, because this is the entire thing that you are going to do. All other things related to SQL related, you can always do a Google and you can always use it, because you will remember this tags. Now you could see only 2 got executed and the other got not executed because it is already there. Okay, now if I refresh, one more entry came with the department table should get created somewhere. Okay, person table is there, department table is also here. Okay, cool, nice. So what we have seen is, we have seen how to create a table with the help of LiquiBase. Okay, now let's go to our slides. So how it works, you identify, and in few examples we have seen how to create the table also we have seen. Now let's try to do other things like add column, LiquiBase, changelog, example XML. So in your case you want to do some add column related things. Okay, what to do, you simply go here and it will show you all the choices. You go here and you execute this particular thing. Okay, come here and changelog version 1 you can create here. Okay, and here you can add the author name as well as the ID, all these things, and you can change. Okay, but for the demo purpose what I will do is I'll create one more changelog. Okay, so here what we are going to do is, we are going to, so as part of this release this work completed and you went to the next release, and for some change you need to create the second you need to add a column to the already existing table. Okay, so that thing we are going to do here. Changelog -v2 .xml. Okay, here this is a change set. Okay, to add the particular thing, but this change set should get covered in db changelog, right? So let's copy this particular thing. So basically most of the times you copy this file and you paste it over there. Okay, changelog version, and here I am going to create db changelog. Okay, this should be sufficient, right? So what is happening, I am the author here and my ID is 3 and category name is nothing but your schema name, guys. And here the table, whatever the table you want to add the column, you need to select. In my case I am going to use person table, so I am using this particular thing and I am adding a address at position here and what is the length, and I am adding one more field called name1 after the column ID and the varchar of length. Okay, so all these things you will get it directly from your Google. Okay, now what will happen, now when the Spring Boot start executing, it will go and check in changelog version 1 what all are there. So in changelog version 1 there were 2 files are there, right? So in changelog version 1 there were two change sets were there. Okay, change set with ID 1 and 2, it will go to the db changelog table and it will see whether I have executed ID 1 or 2. Okay, I have executed ID 1 and 2. Cool, so I don't need to execute my version 1. Then version 1, this file is completed. Cool. Now it will come to the second one, changelog 2. Changelog 2, it will go here and it will check what is the id 3 and Karthik. Okay, cool. Here what will happen, it will be here, right? So simply it will try to execute this particular thing because the entry is not here. Okay, let's keep this as 1 and see what will happen, because 1 is already there here, right? So ideally it should get executed because the one id is unique for that particular file only, right? Let's see. Go to the change console and here changelog. I think I have created the wrong file names. Go here, see, changelog -v2, changelog -v2.xml. okay, what they are saying here, path. What is the exception we are getting? The file changelog v2 was not found in a given. Okay, see here, this is the there is some discrepancies in the name. Okay, see here, changng, some discrepancies are there. That's cool, no issue. Just rename this. Is there an option refactor, rename? Just copy this, go to the master table and paste it over here. Cool. .xml should be there. Okay, now let's go to the SpringBoot and run this again. So this is the concept, guys. I wanted to explain you about those concepts because those are important. Other things like add column, update, alter, drop, so all these change sets you can simply Google it and get those things and you modify according to your requirement, right? So again it is saying I have been creating a LiquiBase version 2, changelog version 2. Okay, why? Because I think with this, why this the exception is coming. LiquiBase validation failed, add position is not allowed, add at a position is not allowed. Okay, wait a minute. So here okay, 50, add a column, test person, table name, after id, name 1. So what is it is saying? Let's create this as something like 4. Let's see. This is also related to SQL, I am thinking. After column it is saying, let's see. Okay, validation failed, add at a position is not allowed with MariaDB. Okay, add at position after column. I think this is what they are saying. Position 2, table person. Okay, let me try to remove this and keep this previously only. because that is again depending on your DB, right? So in some DBs it will ask you to it's depends on the kind of SQL it's getting created. Now you could see it is executed properly, and you should see here one ID is there and file name. So these are the three unique combinations at that particular file name it is checking. Okay, why we are getting that exception previously is because we have taken one, right, something like this at position 2. This will create an SQL, right? Thus that feature is not available with MariaDB. Okay, so that is related to MariaDB. Okay, so here we have seen how 2 will get executed, 1 and 2, and here it is based on this ordering, guys. If you give in the beginning, then it will get executed this, then it will come and execute this. Okay, but it is always recommended to use like this, because your version 1 will have other SQLs and version 2 on top of version 1 SQLs will be there, right? So this is the ordering I want you guys to see. Now if I execute one more time, nothing going to execute because all of them are already presented, right? All of them are already executed. It's presented in DB changelog table, right? Cool. That I want to show again. Cool. But if you manually delete, duplicate, okay, name 1, I think I have forgot to so name 1 is here. Okay, here it is column ID number 4, right? And here is ID number 1, right? So it is getting picked up and it is checking for the column name 1. Name 1 is already available in this particular table. It should be there. Okay. Here, go, refresh. Now come here, go to the person. Now go to the data. Now you should see it is already there. Because of that, it is showing. Okay, if I keep this as 1, ID 1, and this ID is already available in that particular entry in the table, so it should not get executed. That is cool. We understood, right? So what all the other things are there? So these are how the execution will happen. This is very important, guys. Okay, and other things like drop table, update, alter, all other things, you simply come here and you drop table, change log, the change log LiquiBase XML example. Okay, simply go here and you copy it and you modify according to your requirement. As simple as that. See, this is the drop table, table name, what is the schema name, all these things will be here. You simply create it, get it and use it as part of your things. Okay, see, no updates are there, right? So I hope you guys are clear on this, and from here you will try to pick it up anything, right? So what is LiquiBase and how you are getting executed, all the things we have learned, right? So let's say like from your migration, okay, so from your dev environment you are getting into the SIT environment, then these tables won't be there. This DB changelog table, changelog log table won't be there, so there were no entries. So when you are migrating it for the first time, then what will happen? So here from application properties, it will identify the master entry. From master entry, it will see what are the included files. So in each included file, it will have a change set, and each will get executed if you are migrating to the next environment. Let's say from dev to SIT, from dev SIT to UAT, from UAT to production as well. The same thing going to happen. So in this way, we are going to reduce lots of potential bugs in the production. I hope you guys clear on this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. In other parts, in other parts, we'll see how to use the tables with the help of Hibernate or JPA. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. It's me, Karthik, signing off.